Over the course of my channel, I've been on a search for the real-life Tyler Durden. I've talked about Ted Kaczynski and Andrew Tate, but now I think I've officially found the one. Today, I rewind the clock 2,400 years ago to ancient Greece to introduce you to the OG Tyler Durden. This is Diogenes of Sinope. He lived in a barrel, jacked off in public, told Alexander the Great to F off, and had literally zero possessions. This is Tyler Durden. He lived in an abandoned home, jacked off in the cream of mushroom soup, had no possessions, and did a few other crazy things too. But these are just a few of the similarities between the two men. In this video, I'll explore how these two men stack up against one another, and what can be learned from the lives of both men. And lastly, I'll conclude by giving you my honest opinion about the philosophy of Diogenes. Let's explore. Diogenes of Sinope was an ancient Greek philosopher and the founder of Cynicism. Now, when you think Greek philosophy, you think of eloquence, someone who is professional and noble. Well, this guy Diogenes was the polar opposite of that. He was homeless. He begged for money whilst mocking the people who gave it to him, and he famously threw away his only possession, a cup, when he saw a child drinking water out of his hands. He preached and practiced simplicity, self-sufficiency, and had a huge disdain for material wealth. Diogenes famously wandered Athens, carrying only a lantern, saying that he was in search for an honest man, but never found one. His metaphorical search symbolized his disappointment with the people who, in his view, were failing to live authentically. And in conducting this metaphorical search, he would simultaneously point out the dishonesty, hypocrisy, and the moral corruption in society. Diogenes believed that true freedom came from independence from societal expectations. Expectations like get a job, make money, get married, and have children. He encouraged people rather to live a life that was in tune with nature and to find happiness through freedom from these expectations. Fight Club's Tyler Durden echoes virtually all of Diogenes' practices. He preached the same simplicity, self-sufficiency, and naturalism.
In the world I see, you're stalking out through the damn canyon forest.
He also had a major disdain for material wealth.
Working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
He questioned all societal conventions.
I'm wondering if another woman is really the answer we need.
And he had no problem mocking the elites. The only main difference between these two men lies in their motivations. Tyler actually wanted to dismantle and change the system in a neo-military rebellion, whereas Diogenes never directly attempted to dismantle the political systems, but rather just lived to satirically and individually critique them. Now, before I break down my thoughts on Diogenes' philosophy, I first need to tell you about his meeting with Alexander the Great. This is an awesome story. Legend has it that Alexander, intrigued by the reputation of Diogenes, sought him out while he was in Corinth. He found the philosopher lounging in the sun, living in poverty, as was his norm. Alexander, the most powerful and wealthy man of his time, greeted Diogenes and asked him if there was anything he could do for him. Diogenes' reply, "Yes, there is something you could do for me. Just move out of the way. You're blocking my sunlight." This response was a stark rejection of Alexander's offer and perfectly encapsulated Diogenes' philosophy. He had no need for material possessions or favors from the powerful. He valued his simple, self-sufficient life over the grandeur and the ambition of war, wealth, and empire. You can't say that this man didn't practice what he preached. And allegedly, Alexander was so impressed by Diogenes' indifference to wealth that he actually said, "If I were not Alexander, I would be Diogenes." Here's my honest thoughts on the philosophy of Diogenes. While there is some good that lives in it, overall, I am not a fan of Diogenes. In my opinion, while it might seem glorious, his philosophy is degeneracy embodied. Imagine an entire society wherein everyone acted like this man. Nobody worked, no one got married, no one had kids. This society would very quickly fizzle out and die. Aside from Diogenes' satirical critiques, he had no real contribution to his society. He didn't build homes or roads, or farm or serve the public. He begged, mocked, and slothed around ancient Greece, living a life with zero responsibility. In my opinion, part of becoming a man is adopting responsibility in your life, bearing your metaphorical cross, and contributing positively to your community. In my opinion, capitalism, although it does have some downfalls, does lead to innovation and competition, which is a good thing. It lifts us up. Diogenes' philosophy is the quintessential, you'll own nothing and be happy. Now, certainly Diogenes did have a point to make in many facets. I agree we should simplify our lives. We should maybe not desire as much wealth. And one thing I definitely agree on is that you should live a life free and according to your own terms. If this is the lifestyle that appeals to you, by all means, go out there and do it. Let me know your thoughts on Diogenes' philosophy down below in the comments. As always, I want to thank you for stopping by and checking out this video. Do me a favor and subscribe if you're not already. Help me make this a full-time job by supporting me on PayPal or Patreon, and I will see you next time.